Welcome back for our 2024 Major League Baseball previews. We're doing these before spring training, doing them in late February. We're going to do our division previews first, and we're going to focus at the league level. These are meant to be high-level overviews. We're looking at pitching rotation, overall offense. So for the National League East, two powerhouses at the top. We've got the Braves and the Phillies, and then you have three teams who are probably on the downside, unfortunately, due to injuries and maybe rebuilding. You got the Marlins. We live here in South Florida, and we're not sure what the Marlins are doing. Had that injury to Alcantara that's going to really affect them. Made the playoffs last year, but doesn't look to be able to repeat this year. Then the Mets and Nationals, some question marks there. But let's first get into the two teams at the top. We'll start with the Atlanta Braves. What more can be said about this rotation? You got Strider and Fried at the top. You got Charlie Morton, former Astro, a dominant postseason pitcher. Chris Sale had a pretty decent season last year. Gives you that veteran presence. Still throws hard. Then we see that bullpen's pretty sound. You got a couple guys. Tyler Matzik might make it back after an injury-plagued past couple of years, giving them a really dominant back end of that bullpen. So I think the Braves are going to be right there. We see that they're probably one of the top two teams in the National League. Look at their offense. Look at this number here. Average runs leads the majors. 5.75 runs per game. Unbelievable. And they basically play in a pitcher's park. Difficult to say where Truist Field is, but we do not think it's a hitter's park in the traditional sense. So we think the Braves, as an Astros fan, they are our nemesis. It pains us to say it, but we think they are the class of the National League. We have them predicted to finish first. Question is, if they have to have a rematch with the Phillies in the playoffs, can they win this time? So, Phillies fans, you like this old school logo better than the new one? We do. It evokes memories of Mike Schmidt, Pete Rose, and all those guys. Back to the rotation. We like Wheeler and Nola at the top. We like Suarez, Walker, and Sanchez. I think Wheeler and Nola are bona fide aces, and we like the rest of that offense. Looking at, the lineup from top to bottom is solid. You got Schwarber and Harper. And Harper will be in for the whole season. Didn't start until May last year. Look at their offense. Average runs, almost a run, full run behind what the Braves were able to put out. Wondering how much of that had to do with the fact that Harper wasn't in there until May. That's just 1 month, and he wasn't 100% really. So we think that number will probably cross the 5 barrier. We like the Phillies here as a wild card. We think the Braves are still better, but we wouldn't be surprised again if they face each other in the postseason if the Phillies took it. Marlins made the playoffs in 2023, but will not be the case here in 24. Losing Sandy Alcantara to injury, he'll be out the entire season. We like the top two of their rotation. Luzardo and Perez both have ace caliber stuff, and the rest of the rotation is in pretty decent shape as well. But we just don't think that the Marlins are going to be able to put up the offense. If you look at what they did last year, average runs 4.1 per game. That's almost one and a half, more than one and a half fewer than the Braves. We don't think that's going to get it done. And beyond that, we live in South Florida. We went to a few of their games. They play a rather dull brand of baseball. I'm not trying to be offensive. They just do. They need to be more like the Rays and have that energy and excitement. Those type players, they'll get there, but maybe next year. Last season, the Mets began with Verlander and Scherzer both in the rotation and ended without either one of them. Which brings us to the question of the week. Are expensive veteran starting pitchers worth it? Let us know in the comments below what you think. We're talking about $30, $40 million per year. With injuries, we don't think so. So look at the Mets rotation. We like Senga at the top. Quintana has been around forever. Severino coming over from the Yankees. Hauser and McGill. Decent rotation in that pitcher-friendly park. We think they'll be able to do okay. Senga is really hard to square up. Mets offense has some power with Lindor and Alonso in that lineup. They average 4.43. It's not too bad, especially for a pitcher's part. We don't see the Mets making the playoff this year. We see they'll be fourth or fifth in the division. Similarly, we see the Nationals in the fourth or fifth spot. Looking at their rotation, you got Gray, Gore, Irvin. Potential there. Patrick Corbin, not sure what's happened to him since 2019. This is another example of why you don't spend big money on starting pitching. He's just fallen off since the Game 7 winner of the 2019 World Series. Where has he gone? So looking at the Washington Nationals offense, is middle of the pack, not too bad, 4.32. We see some potential there with some young stars coming up. We still think they're about a year or two away, so we have them in the fourth or fifth slot. All right, so for our NL East playoff predictions, we have the Braves winning the division and the Phillies close second, and who knows what might happen in the playoffs. We think both those teams are going to be great this year.
That's all for this time. Thank you for joining. Please subscribe to our channel, and we look forward to sharing our future videos with you.